Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randi Rossario, kicking in here with the cool kids per usual for Let's Rant About It. Let's get into this discussion, but before we do, let me introduce you to the crew. We got Alfonso, the actor. We got Crystal, the dog, not the dog. We're going to talk about that off camera. We got Rico, Hundo, my auntie and influencer, explicit lyric, and we got 2K. Alright, let's talk. I mean, hey, 2K.
Like this.
Hey, 2K. You got nation on.
That's
The whole
Illuminati.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Get him out of
We
here.
sacrificed for Rand after this episode.
They gonna send me back. All right, listen. A lot of us been talking about gentle parenting, and we've been talking about raising these kids up and what that look like, and we but we have started. So some of us started blended families. That being said, the whole idea of whooping children, punishing children, spankings, what that looks like, that comes up often in a blended family because sometimes it be don't be putting your hands on my kids, right? But what do we think? How does the other parent that's non-biological, that's a step parent, Rico, let's start with you, because you always talk about how you love your stepfather. How would you have felt as a child if your stepfather whooped you?
Well, I fought him every day for the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
He fucked me up. I punched him. I got a couple. I was like 10.
Okay.
I got shots in. You feel me? I busted his lip one time.
And y'all was fighting.
Yeah, because that was the first thing he said to me. He said, "You look like you want to fight." I said, "I do." He said, "All right, let's go downstairs." We went downstairs and we fought. You know what I'm saying? And every day I try to fight him, but I never gonna win.
Right.
But my whole thing is my kid, whether it came from me or not, if my kid is he's my or she's my kid once they're in my house. And I'm gonna raise my hand before I raise my voice, right?
Okay.
So,
you don't give a pre-warning of a yell. And I mean that toilet.
mine is do it again. Look, do it again, and you're gonna see what I do.
Swinging?
Nah, do it again, and you're gonna see what I do to you.
Oh.
That's my saying. Do it again, and you're gonna see what I do to you.
Okay.
And they know what that means.
Okay.
They know what that means. So, and he knows too. Like he get ass whoopings, but I hold him accountable for his shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think has to be done. I'm not gonna call another man to discipline a kid that I'm paying for, that I'm picking up and bringing to school, the one that I'm also bringing to football practice, the one that I'm buying his sneakers, his coat, his cleats, his gloves. I don't need to ask you for permission.
That's your baby.
That is my baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what? When he gets in trouble in school, they don't call you, they call me.
Yeah.
Right? So, all right then. So with that being said, that's my child, so I'm gonna raise him as if he's my child. I don't believe in gentle parenting, so unfortunately, you don't get gentle parenting either.
So what if the father was more involved with the child? Would that still be how you feel?
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because the thing is, even if he is more involved, it's still the fact that I'm the one that's the primary caregiver for this child.
So
what
if
if he
he
take
was
issue
more
with it?
involved, would you want to have? Would you? I'm saying, like, are you that type of parent that you are open to communicating and make it like, even though you feel that way, you feel me? So you know you feel that way. So if your son or your child is in my household, this is not my biological kid, and the father is in the child's life, don't you think that it is very imperative and important that you have an agreement with that father, that he knows what's going on, he understands it, and he's okay with it?
I think that he needs to accept it. I don't need to accept his terms and conditions from my household.
I think in a situation like that, you have to. Like, I don't believe in a gentle parenting either, but I also believe it's situational, depending on the kid and the parent. But to piggyback on what he's saying, I think that if I'm with you and you have a child, or we're together, or we're married, or we're just together, whatever the case, you are in our house, and I'm helping you take care of your kids. Whatever issue that he may have with me disciplining the child, the way I look at it, that's not my issue. I'm gonna let you and him work that out because I control what go on over here. And if I'm helping to take care of his son or daughter or whatever the case, then whatever I say goes. I'm the king of this castle. If he has an issue with it, I'm gonna let you take that up with him because ultimately, I probably won't respect how he feels because I don't have to deal with him. I deal with you.
So you the king of the castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the king of my child.
But the child is
It's in my castle.
My nigga.
So now,
See, this why we got a problem. Nah, see, this a problem.
yeah.
Because what if my son is doing something directly that I used to do that come from my trades? So he can't stop what he doing, and you can't understand it because it's not your child.
But you need to thank me because I'm fixing your fucked
No,
up
it's
ways
not a, no,
that you done passed down to
and
him.
this is why we gonna do it, because it's not a fuck up. It's just not what
It's something
your
you understand.
DNA.
I agree.
You don't understand it because you didn't come from
Exactly.
Nah.
And this is why we can't be having other people raising other people's
So
children.
the thing is, if the kid is doing, even if it's a trait that came from you, it's negative. You get what I'm saying?
It is.
No, we're speaking
is.
on it being a negative thing. No, obviously we're not finna play dumb with the situation.
No,
If the kid is doing something that they don't have no business doing, but it is something that you did when you were growing up, and it is not a good trait to have, would you said as a father, you want to be the one to deal with it, or fix it, or talk them out of it, or explain
Yes,
how to
okay.
get through it
Chris-
because you went through it?
Crystal, I got in trouble. I used to get whoops from my stepdad for talking in class, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, my dad was a social butterfly. Guess what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Talking.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't nothing wrong with it. My stepdad
It's just
didn't
a time
talk
and
much.
place.
Situation.
He didn't understand it, but that was me, and my dad would have known that because he talked a lot.
You want to know something interesting with that story? I really hate agreeing with you, but my older two children, it's something that I noticed with Chandler recently. My older two children are very quiet and very much so like we always say quiet is respectful, but quiet can still be sneaky or whatever.
Absolutely.
Whatever. They're very quiet. They're deemed respectful children. They're very much so to themselves and. Getting to see yourself in a child is one of the most humbling experiences.
Oh,
in the world.
yeah.
Like when I get to see Chandler starting to get active and talking about that, and I'll be like, oh, where do you get that from? Oh,
You.
the older two don't act like that, so you have to get it from me. Hey, baby, come here, let's talk about it. So I do think that there's a point to what you're saying that something is nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
But I think that the bigger conversation and zoom out to see the bigger picture would be, hey, is it okay for this man to be the primary man in my child's life if I'm not willing to step up to be the primary man in my
But
child's
the
life?
only reason he probably the primary because his mama won't release the custody. So a lot of dudes will take
That's
responsibility.
That's
So now my child got to get punished because his mama won't them there.
Yeah.
So here's my thing.
If my baby father told me that they wanted to keep their child and they were in a position
Yeah.
to be able to do it, I absolutely have no problem giving my baby daddy their child. You know what I'm saying? I would have no issue with doing that.
But see,
Because the same way that I could raise them up, you could do the same thing. And I still would say, I'm the type of parent, I'm an active parent, so I'm still going to be
But
there.
see,
regardless.
it's a lot of parents that need the child at their house so they can stay afloat, even when they in relationship with other men.
depending on
Okay.
child
So
support.
we know the benefits.
Public assistance, helping
Yeah.
with the younger kids and things like that. But question for you, because you are one that grew up with a stepfather.
Yeah.
Do you feel like some of the discipline that he gave you was necessary and helped you become the man that you are right now?
Not because I was gonna be who I was regardless. Now, the discipline that he did give, now it's core stuff that no man would go for. I think that's what I should have been punished for, and then others should have been conversations.
Okay.
But the thing is, getting a whooping from your stepdad don't feel like getting a whooping from your dad.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, listen, your dad when he beating your ass, he beating it out of love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it's your stepdad, it's just another person who he hits it.
That's how
But-
the child
but-
is viewed.
but listen,
It don't
hold
mean
on.
that the parent.
Whenever you get done, that dude and that son, these are two strangers in the real world.
Yeah.
He hit me out of, listen, I'm trying to teach you this lesson. Your father's whooping your ass with love.
And he's still trying to teach you a lesson too.
I agree
Yeah,
with what you're saying,
see,
but I
I
think it's
disagree.
situational too,
Yeah,
because you can have a
okay.
step parent who you might have been in, the step parent might have been in your life since you was 1 or 2 years old, or
He
3
was.
years old.
He was.
And he probably, I would assume that he loves you like his own.
He
And he
does.
only know one way.
He don't.
To-
well,
to-
from,
to-
Everybody don't know how to do that.
No, but beyond the loving like his own, he said that the stepdad had children that he wasn't taking care of. So
And
His
I
own
think-
kid.
And this is what I
Oh,
was
no,
saying.
no, let me finish though. I just wanted to insert that part. He said that his stepdad he wasn't taking care of his own kids.
Yeah, so I would assume that he would love you like his
No.
own. And if he had other kids that he wasn't taking care of, then that kind of could go back to a conversation that we had on the earlier show about how the kids are in the homes with the mom and the mom won't let them see the kid. Like that can go so many different ways. You see what I'm saying?
But
But I think
listen,
But
he loved my mom. Okay?
okay.
He cosplayed as a daddy. for us. I mean, for my mom.
Yeah.
So there was no love because when him and my mama divorced, I don't hear from him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At 18, you know, he got 18 years with raising me under his belt.
And he doesn't talk to you at all?
We don't talk.
So,
See,
but
but
you
that's-
said you
No,
gave
well-
him hell though, right?
But not, you
But it
know,
doesn't
but like,
matter, though.
as
Did y'all have a good relationship
as
at
I
some point?
grew,
He's a kid.
Yeah.
Well, what not now? But you gotta understand, he was a child. See, and that's I hear a lot of stories where there are failing step parents. I would argue that I've heard more failing step parent situations than successful ones.
Absolutely.
I have a successful one. My mom and my stepfather has been separated since I was about 17 or 18.
And you still have
While we were sitting here, his biological son, who's my brother, calls me. Right? So his kids, and that's the thing, as a man, it doesn't matter if you're a stepfather or a real father, you lead by example. It's hard for a kid to respect you when you try to discipline me, but you don't see your other kids.
Absolutely.
Right? My stepfather, he led by example. He took care of his kids. He took care of the community. He took care of everybody's children,
look, to
right?
give him some leeway, when you're young, you're not thinking about him taking care of his other kids.
Yeah.
That's not a thought of mine. My thought is like, in looking back on it, like he was a decent dude.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like the biology, the DNA, it really
It
wasn't.
felt different.
It didn't connect.
It felt
But
different.
Like this
That's
one,
real.
this one the dude, bro.
but so like, and again, there's a real difference when you can treat a child like your own. Did he have a child with your mother?
Yeah,
So did you feel like he treated that child different than you?
I'm not sure.
So, for example, with my stepson, I make sure I spend quality time with him. Even if I do whoop his ass, guess what happens after that ass whooping? I calm down, come over here, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk through this too.
Yeah.
Right? The only reason why you got your ass whooped is because you know better. But let me make sure you understand why I'm doing this. Because here's the consequence of your behavior later on.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what? He'll come up to me like, hey Rico, you know what? Can we go for a walk? I know what that means. He wants to talk. He wants to release. I take him on a walk. We walk around the park 3, 4, 5 times. It doesn't matter. So when you are that person, when he had a situation, he calls me before his mother. You understand?
Yeah.
Not saying.
Probably because you relate to
But-
him as more as
That's
a
how my
man.
son is.
But that's
He
also-
called my boyfriend before he called me.
That's not a slight to his mother. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's not a slight. It's
that's
just a
more of
connection.
that's more to show the connection. Yeah, because when I tell you my oldest two, it's been situations where they've been at their mom's house and they'll hit me like, hey, can I go such and such, or can you call such and such's mom so I can go over there and I'll arrange whatever, and then contact their mom like, hey, they said it's cool, da da da. Here's the address. Like, I think that it's situations like yours that happen regularly when it comes to step parenting. I joined this crazy ass Facebook group recently called Step Mama Drama, and when I tell y'all that pay, I be there having a good time with watching them girls go off on each other. It's crazy. I think that I have seen more negative stories and even more negative stereotypes about step parents, especially step moms. But I do think that situations like ours exist where you can love that child wholeheartedly, where you can show up for that child and pour into that child. It's just unfortunate it's so many like little, I wouldn't call them ghetto, because when I tell y'all the situations that I be seeing is just so egotistical. It's these women getting with men that have children and then wanting to show the baby mama, I'm better than you. He loves me more than you. My kids that I had are better than your children. Like it's a real bitter weirdness that happened when it comes to dealing with blended families and shit like that.
But we said in an earlier episode that we was letting the women off the hook. We talk about stepdads right now. We haven't even got on stepmoms.
Yeah.
But when we talk about allowing somebody into your space around your children, this is somebody who the mother decided was going to be a good fit to be around her. When I pick a mate, it's not just for me. It's for my kids too. I have 2 children.
Yeah.
So if I invite somebody into my space and into my life and allow them around my kids, if you're not going to be a great role model, example, whatever the case may be, somebody who is positive in their life, who's going to treat them like your own, who's going to feed into them and pour into them like I would, then I don't need you around.
Yeah.
That's a decision
And
that
we
the
be
mom
known.
has to
And
make.
we
I
be
don't care how good you treat me. You need to do the same for my
Listen,
children.
so if you got a son, he gonna sniff that bullshit out. Okay? A nigga know when you cool with him just so you can fuck on his mama.
Absolutely.
Nah, you right.
Okay, so listen, so like, I'd rather a dude date my mama and not talk to me at all I promise you.
But see, then she gonna end up getting rid of him.
No, she
So that's
not.
gonna work.
No, she not. Because me and my mama got our own relationship. But I don't need this dude here acting like he love me, and then when y'all break up, I never hear from him again.
But it's
that
okay.
man hurt. Hold on, no.
Did it affect you?
That man hurt your feelings.
No,
No, it's
no,
just
I
that
can call him right now. We still good. Like if I see him, we'll speak. Like we
Yeah,
good.
but no, that's fine. I just think that I think that he hurt your feelings.
Absolutely not. I don't call him either. My phone works.
Yeah.
I still think he hurt
My
your
phone-
feelings.
No, but it's a flip side because when I first started, when me and my girl was first together, right? One of my homies, he's older, and he said to me, he's like, yo, never do the step parent shit. Let me tell you why. This is his story.
Yeah.
He said, I've been in this kid's life since he was 9 years old. I bought him every Jordan that anytime I bought myself sneakers, he got the same pair. Anytime I bought myself clothes, he got clothes. He needed to go to school. I paid for his basketball. I paid for everything. He got himself a little scholarship that I put together for him. Me and his mom broke up, right? After his freshman year in college. And mind you, there was a balance. It was a partial scholarship. I paid the $20,000. Me and his mom broke up and he act like I don't exist.
That's
You know
Right?
why? Because
Did he do that because
the legacy
the
don't
way
roll
that-
over.
How did
How did the breakup happen?
How did the breakup happen?
But to
It
me,
don't
it don't matter.
No,
Yes,
it
it
does.
No, wait,
It
hold on.
don't.
Wait, hold on. Hear me out.
Because I know my dad.
Yeah,
I don't care how my dad broke up with my mom.
Yes, you do.
That's my
No,
dad.
you don't.
Anytime
Yes,
my
you
daddy,
do.
boss,
I don't give a fuck.
anytime my daddy has got caught cheating on my mama, guess who caught him?
And you
But
you
I
love
don't
him, right?
care.
Absolutely, but it was also some smoke and some animosity there for a very
Yeah,
long
of
time.
course, but you were able to find a way to forgive it,
Because that's
right?
my daddy.
But that's what he was
Exactly.
saying. So he was telling me, even if I do wrong,
That's not necessarily
if I do
true,
wrong,
though.
I never get forgiven, even though I did everything for you.
Did he
Nah.
try to go and have a conversation?
It
with
don't
him?
matter, bro.
I mean, look, I can't tell you what else he did, but I just know what he said. And I'm like,
I'm
yo,
gonna tell you this.
let me, cause I be damned. Like, listen,
Biological or step. I'm a product of divorce, and my parents divorced at an age where I was old enough to know what was going on, but they didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
So we went through that whole, oh, it's gonna be okay phase. Like, and no, it's not. Like, where the hell daddy go? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like 12. Like, where did my daddy go? My brother chose sides. My brother chose my daddy's side. The rest of us was like, fuck my dad. And that was my daddy.
Yeah.
But that's
So
probably-
biological or not.
But
we
did you
didn't give a
forgive
fuck. He cheated on my, no, in some ways, no, we never did.
but I'm saying
He
you
still don't
but I
have a
said-
relationship that he should have with his kids. My sister don't talk to him at all.
I don't
Like, this is
understand
what I'm
how
saying,
cheating
like-
on your mama.
Because you
Affects
watch
the relationship.
because you watch your mama hurt.
When you emotionally damage my
So
mother,
what?
I have to be I'm a
So
I am a bypart of that. You emotionally throw off my mother.
As a kid,
Guess
you
who
don't
has
know.
to deal with it? Because you gonna be leaving out the house. Guess who got to sit in the house with that crazy bitch while she going to fuck
Absolutely.
off or upset, or
Absolutely.
depressed and crying and everything.
Absolutely.
We have to get on top of that.
That's it right there.
But why did she not be
Because-
accountable for her
No.
emotions? Because
She-
she should not be taking out her pain on the children.
Thank
Not
you.
all her children.
You should.
All
No,
her
she's a,
children.
no, but
If you're
there's
in
no
the-
excuse
If
for
you
it.
are in, if you exactly.
She can close her door and you still
No,
want
he
to
don't
find
see
it.
it.
Yes.
No, he don't see it. You showing it to him.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
She can close her door.
No.
And cry in the middle of the night.
You
And
want
like,
your
here.
child to see the
No,
hurt.
let me say that. Let me say
My
that.
mother has never in her life exposed me to
Same.
what her my dad
Same.
went through. When
Same.
I would go through shit, you wanna know how I went through my daddy's phone? I'm downstairs in the motherfucking basement washing clothes in 6th grade. Why the fuck is your phone ringing so many times back to back at 10:30 at night? Who calling your phone like this? Who blowing you down? I answer that mug. That ain't nothing to do with my mama.
Stand child play.
No,
That's-
ain't no child's
you see-
place.
But
Ain't no
that's-
child's
but that's-
place.
but that's
Ain't no
the
child's
point.
place.
So-
I was raised like that.
But hold on.
But Randy, but then
because
at the
when-
same time, it is that those are boundaries, and that was your dad's phone, and you answered it.
But to
And
touch on
I've
my
been
baby
answering his phone since I was in 3rd grade.
Oh,
but
we
he
gonna get
allowed
off-
you to answer his phone.
We
Did
don't-
I?
answering his phone since I was in 3rd grade.
They saying that the mom being hurt because she's showing the kids, and that's not true.
Facts.
Here's
don't
the
matter.
thing.
My daddy
when
used to do that when I was younger.
when
My
my-
daddy said the same
when my
thing.
parents
She tells you
divorced-
she exposed you to stuff. No, she
I'm
not.
42 years old. Still to this day, my mother hasn't said one bad word about
Yep.
my father. Not one. My father has had a lot to say about my mama. Other way around, not even.
Yep.
But my mother, like you said, would go in her room. We could hear her crying. she wouldn't know we was listening. We'd be downstairs and she'd be upstairs on the phone with my aunt.
Listen
And I
to
could
it.
hear her
Yep.
in her voice. I could hear her on the phone saying how fucked up shit was and how he did this and he did that and he had to be left and this was that. Like we heard it and she didn't even know.
Okay, wait.
It wasn't a display of
Can
emotion.
y'all like-
Wait a minute. When
Okay.
she came around us, she was all smiles like nothing was going the fuck on.
But that's
And we was wondering like what?
Now
why
watch
you
this.
fuck? You know what I'm
Do
saying?
y'all think y'all mama never hurt y'all dad?
No, I know.
Okay, but did you give a fuck about his feelings? then?
Yes.
Was you mad at mama
Yes.
when she hurt
The
dad?
same way.
My
Yo,
dad, my
yo.
strong sense of justice goes both ways,
Don't,
buddy.
because you don't give a fuck how dad really feels.
No, you don't give a fuck how daddy feel. We give a fuck how daddy
I'll be
feel.
I'm
honest
gonna
with
tell you something.
My daddy will tell you right now, I'm his therapist. My daddy literally will tell you right now, I have told him plenty of times, hey, let's go to therapy. Let's go talk to a doctor. He's like, why do I need a therapist? I talk to you about everything. I am my daddy's right hand man. That's my dog to life, for life. When I tell you for life, absolutely, I give a fuck about what he's going through, and I hold my mother accountable. It might be times where recently where my mom fucked up the bag, fucked up their bag bad. You feel me? And he doubled it and got it back, figured it out. And when she complained about something, I'm like, bro, you really ain't you don't have space to pretty much say about
But you
complain
weren't
about
mad
nothing.
at
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But
though.
you, how you know? Yes, I was. I didn't check the
No,
fuck
no,
out my mom.
but-
Oh, I was
wait,
mad at
wait,
my mom.
wait,
Excel, please, tap me in here. How
But
you
see,
know?
hold on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
We-
Now, here you go,
we-
but that was still your mama, right?
Yeah, that's still my
So
daddy.
at what point do I can get so mad that now I don't claim my dad?
I never
Now
get that mad.
That's what we're saying.
I never could get that mad.
But
That happens all the
but-
time.
but-
Exactly.
but wait,
Look at
wait,
my
wait.
face.
all the time.
Look at my face real quick. I could never get that mad at either of my parents.
But
Them
they
niggas
do.
in
But
that. People do.
that's
They
because-
kind
She
of
feel
tell
like
you why.
they get that big one as her
No,
parents.
because
Absolutely.
the problem is
she
this.
never get that
You gotta
real from
understand
her.
that
Never.
kids allow you chose a side before there was a side to be chose. Okay? Kids pick their parents that they're gonna favor regardless.
No, I picked sides because I saw my mother hurt, so I was
So,
mad
but-
because I felt like it was my father's fault.
But you still picked her side
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter. Like pain is not gonna make you say, okay, he's ultimately the bad guy because you would ask.
It
You're
will when
12
you a kid,
but you're 12
that you
years.
don't
they're
understand.
protecting you from the truth. They're
So-
not telling you what's going
so
on.
if
I didn't
you-
have the facts.
If you have a situation where you witness that your mother is upset and that your mother is crying and she's in pain and your dad is not in the house, you're gonna ask your mom, "Where's dad? Can I speak to dad?" At least once, right?
Mhm.
And if you do that and that happens, you're gonna say, "Dad, what happened?" And he's gonna start to tell you. But because he cares about how you view your mother, he's hopefully he's
no,
not gonna.
that didn't happen.
Okay, so then if that's the case, you didn't care about his pain in the same exact respect that you cared about her pain.
No.
That's why
No,
she
no,
said.
No,
You
because
thought
she
he
saw
was
tears.
like,
Because Lucinda
No,
is
no.
Ethel cousin.
She
Because
said-
my
you
father
know what she
didn't
said.
display pain, he displayed anger.
That's still
my
pain.
father-
It's pain.
As a
He
kid,
left, she left.
wait a minute.
He angry
Pause.
because they
Pause
break
though.
up and
But I
shit.
don't know the situation, the personal
Pause. Because
situation.
as a
Yeah.
kid, you don't compute anger as pain.
But
You don't learn that till you
that's
get
why you
older.
gotta stay in
That
a
you
child's
pause,
place
that you
because
act
you
it
were
out.
old enough
Because-
to read the feeling.
Or y'all can talk.
Or communication.
It's not just experience. Like y'all not the only people
They
experience this
did.
break.
I had to
All
go
of us
through
are.
it with you.
Exactly.
Exactly. And they didn't communicate.
And
I
what
didn't get
is-
a conversation from my father, and I didn't get one from my mother either. You know what I heard? It's gonna be okay. But it's gonna be okay was not okay because shit was different now.
And more often than not,
That's
why
the human
I
nature
was
to
gonna
choose a
say
side.
the
It's a
also
human nature.
I was a
but
kid.
more often than not when you end up choosing a side, realistically, honestly, I think boys end up choosing their mom's side more often because that's their mama. Girls end up choosing their mom's side a lot of the times because we put ourselves in their shoes as a woman. Like even if you're a little girl, you're literally. I remember literally like finding out stuff when I was a kid, a little girl, and I'm still like, oh,
So
my doesn't
so
deserve that. I don't want my husband to be in the
Right,
future.
but all the
Like you
folks-
still, like you
Okay,
identify.
because my mama told me, she told me that what had happened when she also admitted that she played games.
Mhm.
I used to be mad at my dad. My mama was the only person that could fix that.
Yeah.
Now, how many mamas never come to their kids with the correct confession so their
True.
kids can look at their daddy
A
and
lot.
feel like,
A whole lot of mamas.
So
I'm
when-
not gonna hold you up on that. I think a lot of mamas really
Oh,
fuck
right.
up the relationship that kids can have with their fathers, period, and they want that. And then they'll get a new man to come along and pretend like they the dad and, oh, your daddy ain't shit and things like that. Whole time, daddy wanted to be there. You just on some whole ass shit because he broke your heart, which is understandable to certain degrees. But baby, you got to heal yourself and your kids can be better.
So,
But
Rick,
your
all
heart
that
is
said,
good.
so if the parents go through that. The biological parents go through that.
Mm-hmm.
The subject at hand with the step parents and the discipline, and the step parents don't stand a chance.
Facts.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this.
You feel me? Like it's like you fighting against the wind, and that's a game that you will never win.
Hey.
That's why most times I think that step parenting is a rewardless job. And some people, when it comes to being a step parent, is either for you or it's not. For a little while, when I first became a step parent, I was wondering, hey, is this shit gonna work out? Because I don't know. It was a lot of parental alienation going on. It was a lot of trying to pit people against us, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a history there of some drama and trauma with me and their mom. So I understood it on certain levels, and I really understood it once I had my son. You don't have children with people. 9 times out of 10, you don't have a child with somebody not to be with them. You don't have a child with somebody and extend y'all families and whatnot to not be together. You have this child, you usually think y'all gonna be together and y'all gonna raise this baby together and whatnot. And when it doesn't happen that way, you become heartbroken. Sometimes you're able to find a parent that's gonna step in and step up and be a big stepper. But a lot of the times, when I see online from these crazy ass groups or even from experiences like here in Rock 2K, these people are not having good step parents that's stepping up and handling their business the way they're supposed to.
I can't have a stepdad
There are
raising my kid. A stepdad can't teach my kids.
I love that for you.
No.
I know, I genuinely love that for you because you're like, I'm not, nobody else gonna raise my son.
No.
My kids.
A stepdaddy can't, a second place ass nigga can't teach my kids how to be first place. He is second place. How you gonna teach my kids how to be
Is he
first
second
place?
place? Is he
That's not a
second
mind
place?
thing.
Or
This nigga is a substitute
Let me tell you
father.
something. Let me
Is
tell
he
you.
second place or is he the second mouse to get the
No,
cheese?
this nigga second
let
place.
me say this. This is the reason why I don't like the word step. So I have a bonus baby. I don't call her my step anything because step is a negative term in itself. And I say that because I got a stepmother, because we ain't touched on stepmothers. I got a stepmother who has never accepted my father's 5 children. And my father allows it. You know what I'm saying? Love my father to death, don't get me wrong, but he allowed that shit. I'm 42 years old now. And now I've come to the realization that it's not something I have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But my father has 5 kids with my mother and him. And she'll throw a whole birthday party for my father. We won't even get invited.
That's insane. And the fact that he allows it is disgusting.
It's
And respectfully, with love,
It's crazy.
when I talk about the lack of leaders and sassy men, that's what I'm talking about. I'm never talking about somebody's sexuality. I mean the fact that that man does not step up and lead his village the way
Let me
he's
tell you
supposed
how
to.
it happened.
Like he tries to avoid conflict at all
Yes.
costs.
A man
Because
can't.
we know each other together.
That situation was so hard for him to
cannot.
deal with. He just went and started
A
over.
man
No,
cannot
no.
be
Ain't that
avoided.
what you just said before?
A man cannot be an avoided personality type and still be considered a leader and a man. I'm sorry, it just cannot happen.
Listen, he
I
probably
agree.
not be avoided. He probably be dismissive of it now. Because let me tell you why. And how you get to that point. At some point, you got to realize that your mama was a conflict. And now you have raised little mini yous to come over here and fuck up my new space. The stepmama ain't doing nothing but protecting her space. Alright, so now you don't get invited. You don't get invited because you inviting little seeds of the conflict, which is your mama, over here. That's why. And your dad, he tired of dealing with your mama shit, and the
I
kids
agree.
don't know how to
I
raise
agree.
shit.
You're not wrong. It means you have to do. It looks like conversations are needed. Communication is everything. Communication is everything.
When you don't communicate like you just said, and then you have to deal with scenarios like that, it's like you said, it's not to where you don't want to leave. You do become dismissive of it because you no longer have the energy or the wherewithal to continue to put up with that shit.
And now
so you
kids
take the
just
space
like
that you in with whoever you with, and you try to
Because
keep
that's
it
not
as
my
calm as
situation.
possible.
I'm not saying
That's not
your
your situation.
Most of
No,
the
not
time.
your
But
situation.
that's it.
But
Like-
overall, the situation like
While that happens, there's a lot of women out here who just flat out won't accept another man's kids. And that nigga will choose to still continue to be in that relationship with that woman, knowing that she gonna accept them kids like they her own.
Well, guess
And
what?
that is crazy to me.
Hey,
And that's exactly how she
my-
feels.
It's just like respectfully, it's just like the black
And the woman
men
just say,
who
fuck her
get
own
with
kids.
white women, and those white women mistreat those black children because you don't care. Even when you make those black children, I know I have two friends that are biracial who has white mothers that have called them the N-word.
Listen,
That I have personally heard call them the N-word. And let me tell you about how weak they motherfucking daddies are.
TA right there.
They weak ass daddies know what they white wives be doing, accept it and don't check that shit.
It's a-
Because let me tell you something.
That's a
You
hell
will
no.
never, as a white person, call my child the N-word.
I don't care if you made
But
it.
that happens, and those are the kind of men that I feel like we're talking about. We're not talking about the alpha man. We're not talking about the men that's leading properly, the men that's really showing up. We're talking about them loser ass niggas who was probably raised by their mamas and don't know how to stand up for themselves.
But this is the caveat right here.
Lame ass nigga behavior.
Stepmamas are top 3 the worst people in history. You can put
Overall, I agree with
stepmamas up there with Adolf Hitler. Cause they
But what?
with Adolf Hitler.
Oh wow.
They do not care about the kids.
Don't say they. It's not all.
But the
Overall,
majority.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, listen. This how stepmamas. You don't hear from your stepmama none until you go visit your dad.
Okay.
And then she got the nerve
Your
to tell you.
step-parents fucked you up.
No. This. I'm speaking for the masses.
But you're speaking about your stepmother too, right?
Yeah, I can speak. Yeah,
Okay,
her
for
too.
sure.
Her too. Listen, you don't hear from your stepmama none. And then when you over there, I love you. Yeah, nah, I love you. You what you want to eat? Okay, baby.
I'm about to eat you the fuck up. Because 2
Now,
seconds
hold on.
ago, 2 seconds ago, you just said that the reason why the stepmom is protecting her energy is because you are a part of the problem that comes from your mama. So how do you know that? No.
I'm talking about that situation.
No. Let's bring that situation here.
Wait.
How do you know the reason why the stepmom not reach out to you while you at your mama house is because it's gonna cause conflict and you're gonna be a little conflictor?
That could happen too, but I'm speaking on the overall state.
What they say? What they
Clocking it. You just moved the goalpost 2 different ways. I'm talking about the generality stepmama experience. Okay? The general stepmama experience is I never hear from her until I go see with my daddy for a weekend. She act like she loves me, ask me what she want me to cook, and then I never hear from her again until it's time to go back from over there.
Mine didn't even pretend.
Okay,
I'm not mad at that. I agree with you on
So-
that.
It was no
Just
pretend.
overall
I just want to say what I believe real quick on this step parent experience. I believe that the step parent is a direct reflection of the biological parent.
Yes.
So if you a lame ass nigga who don't care to make sure that that woman treats your child right, then that means you don't give a fuck that much. Flip side, if you a lame ass woman who makes sure that that stepfather don't treat your child right, then you are the problem. Because I'm telling you right now, today, if me and my girl break up and I go with any woman and she treats my daughter, my biological daughter, any different, she's gone.
Absolutely.
Pack up.
Now,
There's no space that you need to protect. There's a space that you need to be in addition to.
Rico.
Right? So the only one protecting the space is me.
Agreed.
And if in the same on the flip side, you know, when my girl came with her son, she was like, listen, you know, there's certain things that I'm not gonna be okay with. And I had to respect that. And then we had to come to some type of consensus as time has, move forward. It's like, all right, well, listen, I'm not going to be able to work with just like this. We have to open up these doors.
Rico.
But there has to be a set standard that biological parent is going to make sure they enforce and
Exactly.
sustain.
To make sure that your kids are taken care of and feel protected.
Because at the end of the day,
Rico.
my child is my child.
Okay.
You are just my spouse. I can get a new spouse. I can't get a new one of these children.
Now Rico, this the question that ain't a question. If your let's say your stepmom was a direct reflection of your dad, then what the fuck was your mom?
A direct reflection too.
So if goddamn me,
Well, I don't.
if he ain't shit,
I don't think
the
that.
mom ain't shit.
No, I don't think it's. No.
I can understand that.
What I'm saying by
I don't think
reflection,
that's what he was
I'm not
saying.
saying reflection in terms of your behaviors or your habits. I'm saying reflection in the terms of how you care for your child.
Absolutely.
It's the same
No,
shit.
it's not.
No, it's not.
Because everybody just like that.
No, it's not.
I'm on 2K side. Okay, cool. Let's say it's the same shit. Say my mama ain't shit either. That still ain't got shit to do with me. Still ain't got shit to do. Okay, so cool. My stepmama ain't shit. My mama ain't shit. My daddy ain't shit.
Now who
What the
protected
fuck they
me?
got to do with me?
Now who protected me?
Okay, cool. So now I got 3 lanes raising me.
Listen,
What they need? Little lane?
listen.
I mean,
Yeah,
Ain't shit people.
Yeah,
Damn near.
and then you go ahead and do the same
Ain't
thing.
shit nigga have
Ain't shit
ain't
nigga.
shit nigga meet
Marry
ain't shit bitch
and have an ain't shit baby.
kid. So
Yeah,
ain't
And no, but that
Damn,
literally
my
be
ain't
my
shit.
but can I say this? Can I say this? Like being in a situation where I have had to fight my battle with it since the last time. This podcast created so much drama in my life, specifically when it came down to this conversation. Like literally, this conversation created no contact between my oldest two and his father now. He was so mad about me speaking the truth on this platform that he literally, his dislike for me turned to straight hate. You know?
What does that have to do with
But
his
listen,
child?
I'm about to tell you what happened. Over Christmas break, we had a situation where,
He really don't hate you now.
man, it is what it is.
It's
He
all
hated
public.
me before.
It's all public. He
But-
doing crazy
but-
on social
right,
media.
I'm
okay,
the villain
so-
in my story.
so
and
mind
stop
you-
doing terrible shit.
We live in a world where people say stuff about step parents and finding a good man that loves you and your children and treating you right and doing right by you, right?
They ridicule him.
But then the minute that you get a man that does all those things, now all of a sudden he shouldn't be there with you. He's wrong for doing certain things and having certain behaviors with your children, and that's for the real dad to do, or y'all shouldn't have did that at all. So I'm gonna tell you what we did. We went and took Christmas pictures. And not only did me and him take pictures together, but we included the children in our Christmas pictures as well. We asked them did they want to do it. They said yes. Everything was in agreement.
Who you
feel me?
asked?
Our children.
Their
Who
children.
you asked?
What you mean? The children.
And
Like,
she talked to
we
them.
asked them. What do you mean? So look, I'm gonna tell you why I'm not ever asking my baby fathers, do y'all mind me taking pictures with my man and my kids? Because those men don't put forth no type of effort when it comes to my kids. Now I would say that my youngest daughter dad, he does way more than the oldest two dad did. You feel me? So I could have a conversation with him, but you wanna know what? If he told me and him like this, because it's live your life, I'ma live mine. As long as my kid is comfortable and taken care of, we all right. That man got a girlfriend, she love my baby. We cool. We ain't got no issues, no problems,
That's
no
the way it's
nothing.
supposed to be.
You feel me? Ain't no bitterness there, none of that going on. My issue with the oldest two dad was that he had a problem with any man that I dealt with because he had unresolved issues for the way that we split. And we went our separate ways, so it was always bitterness there. Because the situation that he claimed he did not want and sabotaged, I walked away from, and I became something way better than what he ever thought that I would be. Now he's bitter and he's upset because what he thought would be did not become. Now, I'm gonna say this part. Now that I have this good man in my life that is doing what he's supposed to do for my kids and being there, it's a problem. We took these pictures, they were posted on the internet. He crashed the fuck out. When I say crashed out, he crashed out. This man has never attempted to take any type of family portrait with my children outside of something that I put together when my daughter was 3 months old and my son was 1.
If
Listen,
you want to
and
be
I
in
put
love,
this
be in
together.
love. Don't take the picture with
And my kids are teenagers. And
These
we
are my
asked them,
kids.
do y'all want to be a part of it? They
Them
had
are
no problem.
kids.
Why would I care about my baby father feelings
Them
when
are
it comes down to
kids.
it?
I
Why
bet
would
you would
care?
feel away if he picked the kids up and took one with the stepmom.
No,
what if he
Wait,
come
yeah,
up with
fuck y'all would. I seen the
Never
elevator
cared.
explode over the
Never
phone.
cared.
I seen the elevator explode when that happened.
Never cared.
I seen the elevator explode when that happened. Y'all stop
You
that
saw
line.
the internet explode
Hey.
about the biological
With somebody else.
leaving out
Leaving out the baby.
the real
Left the baby
child, the
out.
biological child, and not having the same pajamas. Don't fucking play.
That's what it
Don't
was.
fucking play.
The
Because
child
my
was
kids,
different from everybody else.
me and my kids post Christmas pictures every motherfucking holiday
Oh,
since I've been in their life, and guess what? They mama ain't said shit about it.
Oh my
Because
God.
most
They
women
mama
don't
ain't
care.
said shit about it.
Let me
You got my kids on a picture with a boyfriend.
Like this.
You got my kids on a picture with a boyfriend.
I take our pictures
That
like this.
nigga's a
I
boyfriend.
don't care, and that's exactly what he said.
That nigga's a
Let me tell
boyfriend.
you what,
And you ain't
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's bring it down.
Get the strap.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Get the strap. You better be glad. I'm telling you, you better be glad you his kid.
Let's try this.
You better be glad you his kid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Like,
came to see you.
It is, but let me,
You
like
came to see you.
Rico would say, let me land this real quick. I'm going to say this with that. You want to say, oh, she taking pictures with boyfriend, but big boyfriend been there for his kids every step of the way since he been in their lives. He never had step. Never. My son need anything, he there. Football, basketball. He coached my daughter. When my daughter first started playing basketball, she was okay. That nigga sat in the gym with her. He paid for trainers. He did all types of stuff. My daughter, varsity, 9th grade. And I give all respect to that man because it's him that put her in
So
that
you
position.
know what?
Stop. And I'm going to say this.
It circumvents right back to what we
Let me
said in
look.
the beginning.
Baby daddy
Shout out
was
to him.
mad about that. He never cared about what my daughter did when it came to basketball. He might have, when we stayed in Detroit, he came to a game here and there. But as putting in effort with her to make her better, no. The minute he found out that my boyfriend was doing it, you need to send my daughter back to Detroit. I was good at basketball. I can train my own child. You never
So
gave a
listen,
fuck about
listen,
money.
it's okay, listen,
You care.
it goes back to what I said at the beginning. When you in my castle, it's gonna operate how I see fit. And especially if you don't have no dealings.
Which is exactly what happened.
And that,
But if you got
he didn't
dealings,
care
that's a
till he
different
stepped
conversation.
up.
But if
He
you don't
didn't
have
care
no
till he
dealings,
stepped up.
But let me make a point before we end this.
Niggas be.
My daughter was like 2. I showed her a picture and said, "Who is this?" She said, "That's mommy." She was talking about at the time, it's his wife now, but her daddy's girlfriend. And I said, okay, in my eyes, it meant that she was being nurturing, she was caring for my baby, and my baby saw her like a mom.
She was so comfortable.
I was not offended, none of that. I never told my daughter to call my husband dad. Her daddy heard her call him dad and curved that shit immediately. No, and then came to me. She only got one father. Now, while that may be true, that's still her step-dad.
Yes.
So her saying dad is still relevant, and I never told her to say it. She said it on her own.
And you let
To
them
me,
do that
it's
on
an
their own.
indication.
You don't
when
force
parents
that.
do
To
that,
me,
you
it's
force
an
that.
indication
You
that
force
she's
your
being
thought process
taken
onto the
care
child.
of.
No, you
Yeah,
when
do
parents do that, they're forcing their ego onto that,
Absolutely.
that child.
There's
You don't
want to
wanna-
be one mom. I'm
You
her
feel
mom.
intimidated.
They know
You
where
feel
their mom
intimidated.
is.
Now,
You don't want them calling that person that name because you're intimidated. That other person
Here was
was to
the
show
point I
up
brought
and
up,
be,
though.
what'd you say? A better parent
Yeah.
than what you can be
And
to your
that's what I
child.
see.
Here was the
They
point
see
I
him
brought
being a
up
better
though.
parent.
When you walk, if me and you cool, and I'm cool with your mama, and my kids cool with your mama, when they walk into your mama house, what they gonna call your mama?
Your kids talk.
They gonna call mama.
Yeah.
They gonna call her mama. But you mad because
This one.
this one doing it?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the difference?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, don't let nobody say it. Don't
Yeah.
let her call nobody mama. Don't let her call nobody daddy. When your kid
I
walk into her
promise you.
friend's house, the first thing they gonna call their daddy is pops. What's
What
up,
up,
pops?
That part,
What's
yeah,
up, pops?
yeah.
Because they see him as a father figure because that's what they are in their
Yeah.
life.
But
You
2K,
can't
the reason why we say we
This
respect
my
your
last
views
thing I'm
though,
gonna say.
can I say something to you? Like, I just want to let you know, I don't disagree with your views at all. You feel me? I respect you because you are a man that's in your household with
Absolutely.
your children and you doing what you're supposed to do. So I understand 100% why you feel the way you feel when it comes to the step situation and also how you grew up and what you went through. I respect it. I get it. But when you sitting on the other side and you've been in a situation where you not dealing with life the way my life not running the way yours is. You feel me? So that's why I'm open to as much love as my kids can get. You feel me? When it's healthy and it's right. Now, if it's negative, I get it, and I get it.
I done had a little step nigga. Alright, but it's a side baby, whatever you want to call it, nigga.
Bonus.
No, I'm serious.
A bonus
Okay.
kid.
Huh?
In the previous
You got no
relationship,
bonus?
He said,
I'm saying
I had a little
you had a
step.
situation with a woman prior to your marriage, right?
Yeah, a little step nigga.
Okay.
Little step nigga. Was you a good step?
No.
Would you look
I was
that
fucking,
nigga daddy?
when she was around.
So that's why you
Well,
got
that's
issue with
sweet.
Oh,
step.
I'm saying, no, that's how the majority of
That's
niggas
what
was.
you know.
But that's based on what your experience. That's what you learned.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah.
When
You
she was,
always
I did enough just to get some pussy. Hey, look at, you know, I did
You
just
fucked
to get
up.
some pussy. But I need to put this message out to my wife. Listen, if we have a divorce and you take pictures with another nigga, I'm gonna bring your family together, and I promise you.
He just said he gonna kill this nigga.
I'm not gonna
Bring
lie.
your family together.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
There's gonna be a lot
I
of
know
slow
it's
singing
not.
and power
And this is
bringing.
why, and it's hard because I'm in 100% agreement with him. However, I'm in the opposite side of the perspective, or the opposite side of the fence,
Yeah.
because I do have a stepson. But I promise you, Chaya, if you bring my daughter to a photo with another nigga, I'm gonna bring your family together too. Right?
It's a cold.
Okay, well,
truth.
I'm not playing that game though.
But I can make the valid father say
Yes,
these things.
yes.
That's the only opposite.
Yeah.
If you ain't shit, don't sit here and tell me you're gonna bring my family together. Because
That part.
together.
I agree. I agree.
On that note, thank you guys for watching Let's Rant About It for this week. We actually don't sponsor bringing anyone's families together. And I would greatly appreciate if you guys told us your favorite funeral home in your city. See you soon. Bye-bye. Favorite funeral home is crazy.
We're gonna reconnect
Don't
the family,
forget.
man.